Welcome back to the dip.
Yes.
Yeah. We have
Brittany,
Tori.
and Angelica here today to make the podcast. Today we're gonna be doing a little something different. Normally we have a topic to talk about. Normally have something to talk about. But today I thought it would be kind of interesting if we just explored the life of a Latinx queer icon and just kind of talked about her life and just things that she went through as a queer icon, whatever. So bear with me as I go through all my notes and stuff.
Please.
If you'd like to know my references, the one I'm going to be referencing the most is going to be from makingqueerhistory.com. I got other notes from Britannica.com, and she also has a website as well. It's just her name. So today we are going to be talking about Chavela Vargas. So do we know anything about Chavela Vargas?
I do not know anything.
I know we were talking earlier, and you said the song La Llorona that was featured in Coco.
Yes.
I have heard that song. It's actually one of my favorite songs off Coco.
Hey, that was actually going to be...
It ate.
Yeah, it's so good. That was going to be one of my options for the MT Cabaret. Actually.
Yes!
But I was like, hey.
Baby, you can still give it to us if you want to.
Give it to a little something. Hey, we'll save that. We'll save that to that, because we'll save it. I will share the song later. But yeah.
Drop an album.
So let's just start off from the beginning. So she was born in Costa Rica on April 17th, 1919. April 17th, that's my birthday, guys. So I was like, wait, that's my kind of picture. I was like, wait. Guys, it's crazy. So from a young age, Chavela was drawn to the more traditionally masculine ways of dressing within her culture. It was this attitude that led her to her initial conflicts within her family, who were strictly against her expression and would hide her away when people came to visit. Yeah, crazy. Do y'all, I know specifically for you, because you are also queer identifying, you kind of dress a little more feminine.
Absolutely.
Do you also feel some type of way when you're dressed feminine within your family?
I think I grew up fortunate enough to where that is okay within my household, and my parents are very accepting to whether me dressing feminine or masculine. But I know to the people who are not necessarily fortunate enough, I can understand how stressful that can be, and how anxiety inducing that can be, and again, it is so unfortunate, and I hate to even think about it. I hate to even feel that pain. But yeah, it can be really, really hard, and especially not only for yourself, but the way you might feel about your family members as well. You never want to lose anybody that close to you like that. So
I feel like this is also something that's so deeply rooted, especially in the Latinx culture, where people are always hard on a man has to do a man's job and the woman has to do the woman's job, and you have to present that each way.
Oh yeah.
I know for my stepdad, my brother was never masculine enough for him, and so he just completely hated him because of that. Another thing too is for me personally, I also don't dress masculine around my family either, because I'm I don't want them to be oh, I'm trying to be a boy or something, I don't know. Do you have any kind of thoughts about that?
I would experience the same thing. I think mine in my family, especially on my mom's side, they're all very religious and stuff, and because of religious not stereotypes, but stereotypical habits, with like you were saying, a man doing a man's job and a woman doing a woman's job. They usually aren't super welcoming to anything like that, but I think that my family has grown a lot, because my brother is gay, and he came out a while ago, but it was a whole story. But now that he's in college, he's really been able to find his style and learn how to play with fashion and the meshing of feminine and masculine and masculinity in clothing. And I think because he is bending the rules of what this stereotypical habits we had.
Yeah.
It's a different environment. I think they're a lot more accepting of it as well. And I know it's setting up for other people who are in the LGBTQIA plus community and my family to feel safe enough to do that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think also too, what's interesting is like these types of, like, not trying to say these types of people, but like queer people in general. It's funny to like just read this and be like, so we've been doing this since forever. Like this isn't a new thing. Yeah. People have always done this and felt this type of way, you know. And I feel like it's just now, like within our timing, that we're kind of being more accepting to it and stuff like that. Okay, so let's continue. Let me see where I was. So this whole, like, her family hiding her away and stuff, this was kind of along the discomfort in Costa Rica, of course, Latinx culture, that pushed her to pursue a career singing in Mexico at the age of 17. So at 17, she left Costa Rica and moved to Mexico to pursue her career.
All by herself?
All by herself.
17?
17.
Wow.
Yeah. So she was sing on the streets. She would wear the masculine clothes that she loved, and it was only when she was 30 that she achieved a notoriety in her chosen field. So what's also interesting about her is the style of singing that she would sing. So her style of singing mirrored her clothing, something mostly donned by men of the culture. So what she sang is called ranchera music, which mostly understood as a way for men in Mexican culture to have an outlet for emotions they usually felt too ashamed to express under the guise of being drunk and only pursuing the art. So basically, this type of music, a lot of men would sing to kind of just convey their love to women and like express their feelings and like stuff like that. It was mainly known for men to do that. So when Vargas entered the scene, she was both too equipped and not enough, depending on the perspective to sing the songs she chose. So I even read in one of the other things that the men of the culture that she was singing, like the genre of the music that she was singing, she would get a lot of backlash from it. And people would try to get her to change the pronouns that she would use, because she would sing it just as a man would. Like she would sing it like, you know how a man would be like, she loves me, or like something, whatever. She would still say, she loves me. And they would try to get her to change it to he, but she would be like, no.
That's how it's written.
That's how it's written, girl. I want to write that. On the one hand, the depth of emotion ranchera was used to express was something she was able to access in a way that made up for any lack of professional training. On the other hand, she was a woman and identified as such. One of the surprise elements that made her more welcoming into the men's club was her propensity for drinking, which is also like such a Latinx thing. Like, yes, run it up.
Guys, the Latinx community loves to get fucking high.
They love to. And like all the time, there's no like, oh, let's just casually drink. No. We're gonna party.
Yeah. It's like one of my favorite things about our culture is like, even like in my family, like after like, you know, funerals and stuff, like we'll go down to the valley and like, you know, it'll be a somber time. But then we go over to my grandma's house and then like everyone's drinking and we're partying and we're having fun and we're like celebrating the life that happened. And it's a beautiful thing.
And baby, let me tell you, I love to join along. I love to tag along. Absolutely.
Yeah, girl, I fuck up a quinceañera. I always think of like also like the little kids, because they party for ever, like into the depths of the night, and you always see like a little kid like passed out on like the side or like something.
That was me.
I'm like, God, please, let's just go home, please. Please. Okay, so she would go up on stage to perform. She would be dressed. She would have a gun on her. She would wear a red jorongo, which is basically a poncho, and then she would have her guitar. She would sing love songs written for men to women and refuse to change the pronoun. It was this in addition to her unique style and confidence that drew people to her, whether they loved or hated her for it. Also, let me show you guys a picture of her. I feel like you'll need to know what she looks like, because in her main picture that always is shown, she was kind of hot. She was kind of hot, guys.
Yeah, get a zoom in. Get a close up on this.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Yeah, I'm up in that. Yeah,
Hey, maybe
yeah,
Ray
yeah.
can get up in this.
that.
Maybe Ray
Get
can get.
up.
I don't know if you can see.
Baby, get up in that because I'm up in that. You
This picture.
right there.
Right there. Hey, she's fine. She kind of fine, y'all.
That's really, really cool because, like, and traditionally, like, men would wear ponchos and sombreros and have the guitar. So because I don't know, in my brain I was thinking more like mariachi.
Yeah.
But that's cool to think about too, because that's traditionally men in Latinx culture.
I also think her confidence, like even you hearing about it now, like her confidence, especially as a woman, it's very inspiring. It's very like, it's out of the norm.
Yeah, it's the fact that she like didn't care, like she really didn't care, which
absolutely.
is crazy because I feel like also within the culture or even just like having parents in general as a child or like a younger person trying to prove yourself or impress yourself, you're always trying to impress like your parents specifically and like the people that are surrounded by you. You're always conscious of that. And the fact that she like really was dead set on being like, no, like I'm gonna do this is what I want to do is very inspiring. Absolutely. Okay, so her first album was released with the support of famed ranchera singer Jose Alfredo Jimenez, who would become a friend of Vargas throughout her career. As time passed, she would release more music and receive mountains of praise and hate for her work, finding herself in the company of celebrities and well-known throughout Mexico. So let me just go ahead and play a little of the main song that we know. I'll skip to the chorus part. So that way the people know.
Duh.
She kind of also sounds hot a little bit. Yeah, you know.
That's so crazy. She sounds just like my grandma when she's saying that. I'm like getting
God, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
And like the way that she sings is more masculine, which I think is lovely, and it defies gravity.
Yeah.
Unity. Wink, wink. Oh God.
No, but yeah, I think that the style of her music now, like combined with who she is, like makes a lot of more sense.
Also, just within that like one like little snippet, I feel like she also not like she like every musician doesn't do this, but like she was acting. I feel like and like really understanding her words and like saying that, which is beautiful. Okay, this is my favorite part, guys, and this is where a little bit conspiracy kind of comes in as well.
I'm sad.
Yeah, get ready. One notable connection she made was with Frida Kahlo, another queer woman who she entered a relationship with. That's conspiracy. That's because not everybody is like, oh no, I don't know if they were actually friends or blah blah blah.
Right.
But she was not a woman to be tied down and had many relationships of varying lengths with women, including reportedly a one-night stand with Ava Gardner after Elizabeth Taylor's wedding. Now, do we know who Ava Gardner is?
I know Elizabeth Taylor.
I know who Elizabeth Taylor is.
Ava Gardner is an American actress who was married to Frank Sinatra.
It's so sweet.
Baby, then look at the picture. Look, she's gorgeous too, so...
Damn.
Oh, she was up in that.
Get
that. Get that. Frank Sinatra,
you better watch out.
Yeah,
you better watch out because my girl's coming for her.
Yeah, you better not.
My girl's coming for her. Which I think is so, and like in the beginning, I'll show you because look at, there's a picture of her and Frida like laying together. It says two women, Chavela Vargas and Frida Kahlo, lay together on the ground and laugh. Baby, they're gay. Baby, they're gay.
You're gay.
They're gay.
You're gay.
Yeah.
It looks like we're just screaming.
You're gay.
You're gay.
It's like that scene in Happy Death Day.
You're gay. You're gay.
No, guys, as soon as Frida gets involved,
that's how you know it's real.
That's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's real. I just think like the small world that they got connected
Right.
to.
Real. Also, that picture is kind of, I'm not going to lie, that's kind of crazy seeing that picture.
I
It
don't
looks
quite
like,
see the picture.
well, I haven't seen, I've actually never seen a like real picture of Frida Kahlo, like even in black and white. So for you to show me that was actually kind of incredible.
Yeah, I don't know. That was crazy. Yeah, Ava Gardner too. Like,
this is given when they were like Helen Keller is gay in her book, but like it doesn't make sense because she's blind and deaf. But you know, this is America. This is what we're talking about because there's evidence. Baby, because there's evidence.
That's crazy, actually.
Yeah.
wow.
What next? You gonna tell me she fall fucking plane? Oh, excuse me. Anyway.
Helen Keller is a conspiracy in itself.
Yeah, that part. She's not real. And
Anyway,
action!
all right. Moving on. So unfortunately, the very thing that people around her encouraged and expected of a woman in her place was what would end her first stint in the spotlight. Succumbing to alcoholism in the 1970s, Vargas more or less disappeared from the public eye and was eventually nursed back to health with the support of people who had not been in her life or even knew about her fame. So all of the backlash from the way she dressed, her being queer, kind of just pushed her to alcoholism and forced her to kind of just hide away a little bit, which is crazy because we were talking about her confidence in the beginning. It just goes to shows like sometimes like those things can really get to you, and like her like disappearing from the public is absolutely insane too.
Yeah. It's like that even happens like today.
Absolutely. Even like people who aren't famous, like just regular people, like it gets to a point where like you're just like, oh, maybe I should just like go hide away and like be by myself.
Right.
And that is very unfortunate. Again, like.
Okay. Returning to singing almost 20 years after she had left, she found a spot for her that remained for her. In 1991, she was able to make her way back to the prominence and find wide acceptance of her return, including a performance in Carnegie Hall in 2003 when she was 83.
What?
83 in Carnegie Hall?
Yeah.
Is there a picture of this?
I don't have a picture. I can find one in a little bit. Okay. So it was 2 years after her return that Vargas found one of her largest inspirations, fellow queer artist Federico Garcia Lorca. While staying in a hotel room, she believed Federico's ghost came to her as a bird. And because of this, she would dedicate an album to the man based on his poetry and form a close bond to his remaining family. So now this is the interesting thing. So we do know that she had relations with Frida. And then she wasn't tied down to a woman, and we know she dressed as a man, she sang about women and like stuff like that. But it was only at the age of 81 that she came out publicly as a lesbian. So this whole time that we're talking, she wasn't even out. She never said a word about anything.
Can I ask you, why do you think that is? Like, why would somebody, like, wait, like...
I feel like, in a sense, there could be multiple things. One, they probably already knew, and she was like, I don't have to say it. The people already know. I'm sure they know. They hear the rumors. Or two, that she... I don't want to say that like she was still trying to push that away, because obviously she was still dressing and stuff, but maybe it was like that internal thing inside that she was like, she just didn't want to say it. I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
I think also it might be like the public eye. It could spurn her opportunities.
Yeah,
because she could be discriminated against.
Yeah, that's true.
Being out.
Yeah, that's true. I think.
Hi, Rachel House.
God!
Hi, Rachel House.
Yeah, it's okay.
Ray, can you give me my drink?
Let me take a drink real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, we're taking a break. Oh, we need a break.
Well, because I have to cut that out.
Just kidding.
It's so good, by the way. That's so good.
What is
My
it?
cup is going to magically teleport to your side.
And action!
One thing that kind of just thought I brought up as soon as you said that was like the idea of like maybe she didn't say it because she thought like if I don't actually say it, then it won't be an issue. Because I think about that, like, for example, whenever I do my writing, I'm like, as long as I don't say the word gay or say the word lesbian or anything, I feel like that's something that we can get by with.
I understand.
Because we're like, you know, I don't know.
I understand.
You know what I
It's
mean?
interesting because, like, even though, like, because she was in the public eye and they still, like, people liked her a lot or they, like, either really disliked her, I feel like it's kind of another thing where it's like, people are definitely going to treat me even more differently than I'm already being treated at this moment.
That's another thing,
well.
too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on that?
I kind of just think what you said at the beginning in terms of, like, maybe she was like, I don't need to say anything. Y'all should.
Y'all already know.
Y'all already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah. Because publicity and everything
Again,
as
yeah.
well, which, again, iconic. Doesn't give a crap what other people think about her, and she just did her own thing.
Mm-hmm.
At the time that she did it, that's iconic.
Revolutionary.
Yeah, it's revolutionary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it says, though she had been open about sleeping with women long before formally proclaiming herself as a lesbian, being able to put a label on her experience seemed to comfort her, which is so, like, heartwarming and so sweet because, like, I also feel that same way, you know, because I feel like as queer people, when you're trying to, like, fight it for a long time or you're trying to figure yourself out, the second that you're able to, like, say it,
Maybe it's out.
baby, it feels good, and you're
good.
like, damn.
Also, hearing, like, that her sexuality or someone's sexuality, like, is comfortable or they are comfortable, that's just, it's heartwarming. It's inspiring.
So, she reached the end of her life at 93.
And baby, you lived a good one.
Baby, lived a good one,
long,
baby.
good life.
And spoke publicly about her feelings on death, saying, I am proud that I do not owe anybody anything, and it is wonderful to feel free. Now I have the desire to lie down in death's lap, and I am sure that will be quite beautiful. She was right. Despite her success, she did not leave behind a large estate, as she spent most of her life using her money to keep herself from ever entering anyone's debt. Her longest relationship had always been with herself, and where she failed others, she worked her whole life to keep from failing herself.
I'm gonna cry.
I know, she's such a queen. She's such a queen.
No regrets.
No regrets. Yeah.
Like, and out of people's debt too.
Absolutely.
She said, "I'd rather have no money than be
like
in debt to all these people,
absolutely.
and like have to be like almost like chained by them."
Yeah. Which is such a great way of thinking, honestly. Like, I feel like I also sometimes think like that too, because I'm always like, as long as I'm not owed or like expected of anything. I think that also goes back into like having that expectation. As long as nobody else is expecting anything of me, I can feel at peace and feel free. Yeah.
Oh, that's so inspiring. Baby, I'm taking notes right now as we speak. Actually, I'm silent. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We make sure that I don't have
Wait,
any
Barbara,
other notes.
Are you taking any notes?
Can't name drop.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God.
What are you doing?
Baby, cut it out. I'm sorry.
Cameraman.
Cameraman. Shady cameraman. Shady cameraman. It's Ray Barber. Sorry. Shady
Who
cameraman and
is
shady
that?
cameraman.
I don't even know who Ray Barber is.
You say it again. Are you gonna like cut it out? Are you gonna like cut it like beep Ray Barber?
I might be beats.
Beep.
You should.
Oh my God, what the Ray Barber and the Ray Barber and the Ray Barber is going on in this Ray Barber, bro? Beep, 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 beep.
I will say, like, just like from hearing about her life and her story, I feel like the whole like theme of her life is like live your truth and be free, like be truly free.
Yeah.
And that's like Britt was saying, it's really inspiring, especially as like a woman, and I'm sure for people who are queer as well, like it's so freeing to not be, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't hear a lot of stories about like, well, unfortunately, I don't hear a lot of, yeah, like especially like other women of other queer women of color, like excuse me, queer women of color. Does that sound right? No. Like succeeding and like having a happy story.
Right.
I just feel like they're not told a lot, and again, like this is one inspiring story to learn from. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, she's such an icon. I don't know if this is a specific picture of her performing at Carnegie, but here's her older. She's such a lesbian.
Stop that coif and that hair.
Yes.
Get a zoom in
Here
on
we
that
go.
coif.
Yeah, get up in this.
That's what I was trying to do
Get
when I looked
up
like
in
Jamie
this.
Foxx.
Yeah. So that's our queen.
Cameraman, get up in this.
Get up
Yeah,
in this.
cameraman.
Yeah.
Shady cameraman.
So yeah, that's our girl. One other thing, if you want to add, is just an add to a little spice between her and Frida. So apparently, in a letter she wrote to a friend, Frida, the day they met, Frida said she wouldn't hesitate to take off her clothes before this erotic lesbian, and called her a gift from heaven.
Yes!
Yes! And I guarantee you, maybe
Yeah.
she drew it on the wall after she was done with it too. Yeah, too good. You think that's why Frida likes you all the time? Whoa, this makes sense.
Whoa. The connections. Yeah, so yeah,
That's iconic.
that's iconic.
Baby, you ate that up.
Hey,
baby.
hey,
come on.
it might be a short episode, but
Clap, cameraman, clap.
Cameraman, come on.
yeah, so yeah, that was really it. I was just really inspired by her story and her life, and I feel like it brings a lot to light through like for queer people, for people of color, for women, and like just challenging society, especially like, and the fact that this is a story that has been has happened already, and like it's been going on. Things like this have been going on, because then it just also makes me think of like other stories where like, you know, cross dressing for like women specifically has been a thing, and it's nothing new, guys. Nothing new.
It's
like we've
nothing.
been here,
Yeah.
been here this
It's
whole
a
time.
normal thing.
Yeah.
People do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think her whole life story tackles a lot of topics on society and
Absolutely.
how to break away from social norms and be who you are.
Yeah.
But also, I feel that it's a story to tell as far as like sometimes you can't take it anymore. Sometimes,
I was gonna say,
sometimes it really does, like the hate and the torment and the even the self-deprecation can really get to you.
Right.
Because it took her 20 years to come back.
That's a long time, and I don't think I'll ever forgive like society or like the internet for just how much online hate we give to
never.
people we don't even know,
Yes.
like celebrities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of course, if it's like not warranted,
Yeah.
you know.
If it's warranted, trust.
Trust
it.
it, he's out with.
Yeah.
But like people who are just living their lives and trying their best to just live, like this is their first time living as well.
Exactly.
And we can't come at them and expect a bunch of things of them if they're experiencing this for the first time.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're thrusted into fame, like that's a huge other world to like go into.
Yeah.
And
when you do it alone, like at 17 years old,
right, she grew up
like teaching her
hearing this
herself
for
like,
so
how to
many
take
years.
it.
Yeah.
Decades.
She had to figure it all out by
Out
herself. And
herself,
like
like-
find her people herself.
So
Right.
eventually, it comes a point where sometimes you can't take it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like it's okay to take 20 years for yourself.
Absolutely.
If that is what is going to heal you.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I love how there's no time limit on like when you have to come out. Baby, she did it at 81 years old.
Yeah.
83, 81?
81.
81 years old.
Mhm.
That
Yeah, that was the most baffling too. Yeah, you don't have to come out if you don't want to,
Right.
and come out on your own time.
absolutely.
Take your time.
Like it's almost like,
Guideline.
There's no
oh, by the
guideline.
way, guys, like I'm gay. Like only if y'all didn't know I'm
Yeah,
gay.
if y'all didn't know, yeah. I'm like the people knew, baby. That
all
closet
knew.
was glass, baby.
But thank you for clarifying.
She was filling in the people who were new. She was filling in the people who had just gotten there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
I think also like setting that standard for like queer Latinx women, being like, especially with all like gender roles and
Yes.
stuff that all has to play in our culture.
Mhm.
It's going to be like, hey, and if you're like later in your years and you want to say you're gay, like it's okay.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like people always think that like, because I know like a lot of like I hear a lot of stories of like people like coming out like later within life, and they're like, damn, like I had no idea. Like that is a thing too. Like it's okay, and that is a thing. Like
Yeah.
it's a process. It's a journey.
Absolutely.
Like, you know.
Like it's nobody's journey but yours.
But yours, yeah. No,
Yeah.
and who's to tell you what to do and like when
Exactly.
you should
Yeah.
do it, or if that is true to you
Right.
or not. Only you are the one to decide that.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My tia, she is a lesbian. Gay
Yeah,
lesbian.
lesbians, let's go lesbians!
Are you a lesbian?
Cameraman is.
I
Anyways, but
Sorry.
yeah, so I grew up around like queer culture like my entire life, and I as I got older, I didn't you don't really think about these things when you're younger,
Yeah.
but as you grow older, you're like, wow, I'm glad that nobody made me feel like it was a
feel like
bad
that.
thing, or nobody said anything, or nothing but supportive and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, it is family.
Absolutely.
And like, I will never understand disowning your kids for being. I will never
part.
understand
Never.
it.
That
Never
part.
support it. But the fact that we were lucky enough to grow up in that environment, and then I think that's what also made my brother feel safe enough to
Yeah.
come out as well. And like for my sister and I, yeah, it's a great thing, and she paved the path for a lot of many other
Yeah.
queer and Latinx people.
So cool. So cool.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Tori.
Yeah. I mean, that's really all that I had. Really. Just
Yeah.
expanding the life.
I love that.
Yeah,
This
I love
podcast,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eat your heart out.
We should do this again.
Just, it'll be done with. Just, hey, we can create a list of people, of course.
course we
Absolutely.
can.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, very great lessons to learn.
Mhm.
So if I think for me, I'm walking away with knowing it's okay to be you and be free, be truly free.
Be truth-free, yeah. And for me, I feel like I'm walking away with like such a role model for sure, absolutely, especially also as like a masculine presenting person sometimes, and then also just like being true to who you are regardless, and doing what you love and doing it how you want and how you love, regardless of what
Absolutely.
anybody says or what society says. Should
Yeah.
be.
And I love women. Oh my gosh, I love women. Yes!
Who's out here doing it like us?
No one.
That's
No one.
for damn sure.
And that's on period.
Baby,
Women
because
are
I'm
gonna
not.
rule the world.
Baby, because I am not. Baby, I am not working as hard as them over there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Well, that is
I
all.
meant
Oh.
like I'm not working as hard as you guys. Like
Oh.
I'm not saying like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm
Oh.
just saying like,
Well, no, I think I got that.
Oh,
We
okay.
got it. We got it. Trust me,
Okay.
we got you.
are you gonna put that in? Are you gonna? Okay.
Cameraman said.
Anyways, bye.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
Bitch, yes you can. Bye.
Can you
Get up.
bleep it out?
Bleep the name.
Bye. Bye.
Wait.
Sorry.
And then we just say bye.
Bye, Ray Barber. Bye, Bleed.
Okay. We'll close out.
And we're back.
Well, that is all that we have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this new kind of way of podcast going, and I hope you learned a lot about our icon, queen, legend, Chavela Vargas.
I certainly did.
I know. I certainly did
absolutely. And if you have somebody else that you want us to talk about, like a special icon, hey, drop it in the comments. Absolutely, we'll look at that. We'll get on that. Absolutely.
too.
Make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram to see
and like
any
those pictures.
Right, and see any events that we're going to have maybe in the future for next semester.
Yes.
And we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Bye.